यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय विष्णुपाद परम सुब्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सतीश डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परम सुब्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सतीश डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसति गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुर धाम की कृष्ण भक्त प्रधान तुलसीमराणी की गंगे में यमुना की संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की ताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. So today on the most auspicious occasion of Ekadashi and auspicious occasion of Srila Gaur Kishor Das Maharaj disappearance, we are happy to have His Grace Yugal Kishor Prabhuji with us. So Prabhuji has given me just 30 seconds and so much is there, but many devotees know Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I'll just tell that Prabhuji is from Andhra Pradesh, this area, South India, and Prabhuji preaches in America from more than 2 decades. He has brought so many devotees in Krishna consciousness by his preaching in America. Prabhuji takes care of Farmington Temple in America and travels to many other temples in America. We are very happy to have Prabhuji here. And we will welcome Prabhuji to Shri Radha Madhav Mandir by once chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chaksharaanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभुनित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसुधि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोन्दनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नामने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणि प्रचारणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारणे I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. So I seek the blessings of all the senior devotees and Srila Prabhupada disciples if anybody is here. And I seek blessings of practically everyone. So that whatever I heard in the past, like a parrot, I repeat it for your pleasure. I seek everyone's blessing. Today is actually Ekadasi, Kartik Mass. I just came to know today is also disappearance day of Gaur Kishor Das Baji Maharaj, Param Guru of Srila Prabhupada. And I was told Sundays here we discuss Srila Prabhupada's pastimes. Usually read and explain. So what I'll do, I will read a paragraph and then we'll continue. Recently I was in Moscow. I had a nice talk with a professor of Indology, Professor Katowski. He was speaking that Swamiji, after this annihilation of this body, everything is finished. I was astonished that a learned professor posing himself in a very responsible post had no idea about the soul and the body, how they are different, how the soul is migrating from one body to another. As Prabhupada spoke, a voice announced over the public address system that the departure lounge had to be cleared for the next flight. They are speaking about themselves? Prabhupada asked. We shall stop. All right, let us go. So, that evening in the temple room of Detroit's Iskcon Center, Srila Prabhupada sat on his Vyasasan before the deities of Lord Jagannath Balsudra. While a devotee led the kirtan, Srila Prabhupada played his kartals. Looking around the room at his disciples, he was nodding his head, pleased to see them dancing and chanting after the kirtan he lectured. This is what I want to speak today. Very interestingly, I am from Detroit too. You know, actually, I want to end that paragraph there, but then I read the next line. Prabhupada is from in Detroit, so I said, let me. So, past 12 years, I'm living in the Metro Detroit area. So, Srila Prabhupada, who can speak about Krishna? You know, Namo Ananta Leelaya Devayatabhyam. His Leela, Krishna's Leelas are infinite. You know? So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, who can measure the sky, the vastness of the sky? As much as possible, a bird can fly and try to measure the vastness of the sky. Bird can hardly fly to a certain distance. Likewise, the pastimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performs in a day, they are also unlimited, Ananta Leela. But like a bird trying to scale, I'm trying to, my attempt is actually inadequate. Like bird trying to scale the universe. But as much as possible, I'm trying to explain. For my insufficiency and inadequacy, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami asked for forgiveness. And as we reach to the end of the pages of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, nobody should see my face. I am the most fallen. Vaigunya Kita Kalitam, Paisunya Vranapeditam, Danyarnave Nimagnoham, Sri Chaitanya Vaidyamatri. My body is filled with germs of mental activity. Because of that, my body is filled with boils of envy. Because of that, I was drowned in the ocean of sorrow. For that reason, I have taken shelter of this Supreme Doctor Lord Chaitanya. Another place he says, I am a worm in the stool. Sometimes, especially in Iskcon, we are trained to speak nice words. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami really meant it. Spirituality, actually yesterday I was going to give a class. I happened to see a temple being inaugurated. Today, there are more temples in India than universities. In America, there are more universities, there are more churches than universities. But today, what is the problem? The professors are telling, the scientists are telling, this planet will not last more than 100 years. The way the world is going, the planet will not last more than 100 years. It is not which temple we go. I've been going to this temple, this mosque, this synagogue, this church. Is my envy going away? Is my lust going away? Is my anger going away? Instead, if it is increasing, there is something wrong with whatever I am doing. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining his inability and showing his ultimate humility. I never read any other statement. I'm a worm in the stool, and if you see my face, you will incur all the sins. Not that he is putting a show of humility to gain respect for next 10,000 years. You don't read this type of thing anywhere. In fact, genuine progress of spirituality is genuine humility. As we make progress in the spirituality, we become humble. We cannot exhibit proper right humility without the cessation of envy, greed, and pride. Ladies and gentlemen, the goal of spirituality is cleansing the heart. The goal of life. What is the goal of life? Get rid of impurities, greed, envy, anger, pride. Then we will see the treasure in our heart, the love of God. Prema Pumarto Mahan. Goal of life is to get rid of the impurities from our heart, so that the treasure of the heart, the love is awakened. That is the goal of Lord Chaitanya. How many people in the world who go to mosques, synagogues, churches, they go? I mean, they understand mosques, churches, synagogues, they visit, knew this simple formula. We identify with a particular organization and we consider other organizations as enemies. Hare Krishna. And contrary, why I'm telling this is there is a reason. Srila Prabhupada was in Moscow. Professor Katowski, just now I read, is a professor holding a high position. And when Srila Prabhupada went to Moscow, Prabhupada was under supervision of KGB. Communist countries means there is no God. And Professor Prabhupada, wherever Prabhupada went, Prabhupada was under electronic surveillance. Because Russia, they knew two things will change Russia's future. One, rock and roll. Two, Hare Krishnas. These two things will change. 1970s, rock and roll was very famous, promoted by Beatles. And one more person, I forgot his name right now, is also very famous. So these rock stars in America, they were coming with newer types of music, and Russian authorities knew if rock and roll and other music, Western music systems would come to Russia, it would change Russia. And the second one, Hare Krishnas. Actually, Russia changed though. So wherever he went, Prabhupada was under surveillance. And finally, KGB arranged. KGB is like CIA of America, or what is India's? R and one more. CBI. CBI or RA of India, like that KGB. They arranged conversation with a professor, Srila Prabhupada. a pure devotee from spiritual world. We have these bodies. What is a body? 72% of body is water only. You know, somebody asks you, who are you? Do we say we are a water bag? I'm a water bag. I'm a female water bag. I'm a male water bag. Srila Prabhupada came to cut through that ignorance. Now they are arranging his meeting with the professor. This professor is Katowski is telling, Swamiji, I am this body. Body, a bag of chemicals. With death, everything is finished. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, reincarnation starts. Krishna starts preaching about reincarnation. In second chapter, you have that 18 rest of 17 chapters to go. Then Bhagavatam starts, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, all the Upanishads. This person is telling, it's like a, what is that? A tiny child speaking to the dean of a, spirituality department. This person is telling, Swamiji, I am this body. Once death comes, everything is finished. I am sure it must have crushed the heart of Srila Prabhupada. Hey, you are holding one of the top positions. You are telling you are this body. Then what is the fate of Russia then? One day, actually the same Damodar month, we were doing a program in Metro Detroit in somebody's home. So I started speaking Damodar Leela. I said Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And start explaining. Immediately one person cut me through and stopped me and said, wait. There are so many devatas. Why are you emphasizing on Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I told him, okay, I'll stop. You tell me who God is then. This person spoke for 20 minutes and he said, I don't know. Hey, you're working with the Ford Motor Company as a software engineer. You're very well educated. If you, after speaking whatever little you know here and there, finally you're telling me you don't know who God is, then what is the plight of India? What is the plight of Indians in America? Srila Prabhupada came to America. Peter Barwa says this. Prabhupada declared war on atheism. Prabhupada declared war on materialism. Prabhupada declared war on scientists who say you're this body. You're a bag of chemicals. Peter Barwa said, Prabhupada came as a salesman with not even one person waiting for him. He made his sales field, he made his sales pitch, and one by one, he started preaching to them. He infused their heart with unlimited Krishna love, Krishna Prema, love of God. Anyway, today I read about Katowski in Russia. Actually, I prepared for something else, but because the Russia came, I want to speak. Srila Prabhupada started his preaching in New York. What is the qualification of New York? Every month I go to New York actually. The most sinful place on the planet. That's the only qualification. All the LGBTQ and many people don't even know what is LGBT. You're so fortunate. I congratulate you if you don't know LGBT and all. So the headquarters is New York actually. So Srila Prabhupada did not start preaching in the remote village of Michigan or remote village of Pennsylvania. He started only in one place, New York City. And our GBC for so many decades is Mother Malati. Her husband is directly involved in this preaching, Prabhupada preaching in Russia. So with great difficulty, Prabhupada established the first center, 26 Second Avenue. I want to tell you something. I consider Prabhupada life as an example of positive attitude. Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Nischaya Dhairyata. Prabhupada is an example for that. Prabhupada went to America with 40 rupees. 70-year-old man, 2 heart attacks, seasickness. You don't read in Prabhupada Lilamritam when Prabhupada landed in Boston. Is there any hospital? Is there any hospital? I had heart attack 2 days ago. Even if he wanted to, he had no money. Honestly speaking, Prabhupada did not look for hospital. Prabhupada depended on Krishna, absolute surrender. Then nobody was there in New York to buy these books, Srimad Bhagavatam. Mother Malti told me, Prabhupada, there were times he did not have enough food because nobody was purchasing Srimad Bhagavatam. Who will purchase? Even Indians don't purchase in New York today. What to speak of Americans? Anyway, cut the story short. Michael Grant, today Mukunda Maharaj, he told Prabhupada, Swamiji, we'll rent this building, we'll pay the rent only for 2 months. After that, you should be on your own. We will not pay. And Prabhupada visa was expiring in 1 month. He already had 2 heart attacks. And Prabhupada had only 40 rupees. Nobody converted 40 rupees into dollars. Today, 40 rupees means 50 cents. Those days, 40 rupees means $10. But Indian currency had no value in New York. Nobody cared to even convert. So with no money, Prabhupada visa ending in 1 month, and they were telling him 2 months only we would pay the rent. Srila Prabhupada was unfazed. His determination was very strong. You know what he said? I don't want your 2 months rent free of cost. I am opening an international organization. I'll consider this 2 months as a membership fee. What he said? How many of us have that type of determination and confidence? With no money, your visa is expiring in 1 month. He is telling, I will consider your money as a membership fee for the international organization I am opening. I've been living in America more than 2 decades now. In America, anything they want to do, first what they do is, okay, any company, Google or, first they will move $100 million and they'll bring a manager. And you are the manager of this project. You employ as many people as you want. Finish the project within this $100 million. This manager, if he is Indian, he would finish that project in 2 years and he would save probably $6-7 million. And the government company is very happy. So, what moves America? Money. Srila Prabhupada is here with no money. Prabhupada tried to preach Krishna consciousness in India and failed probably for 30 to 40 years. I have a question for all of you. You're a Java programmer. Every time you get a job in 2 months, they lay you off because you're not very good with Java. After 20 years, your friend comes from America. Hey, what are you doing? Come to America. By the way, what is your job? Java. I'll give you a job in Java in America. Come and work. What will you say? Give me some HR job, but not Java job. Because failing in India is okay, but failing in America, that too with a friend. Will you go to America? Prabhupada failed in India trying to spread Krishna consciousness. Now at the age of 70, he got the opportunity, but he was not shaken up. What a courage, Hare Krishna. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, even if you are a failure for 10 years, don't worry. Write a book, How to Fail. You will become successful as an author. How to become successful from your failures. You'll become. So, don't give up. That's the point I'm making. Prabhupada's life is an example for a positive attitude. And anyway, he became very successful in New York. Then he went to Los Angeles, San Francisco, the headquarters of hippies. He became very successful again. And Prabhupada said, actually, Michael Grant became Mukund Maharaj. He had a friend, Sam Spearstra, in Portland, Oregon. So Prabhupada, Mukund Maharaj was going, that time Michael Grant, Mukunda. So Prabhupada said, you're going to California. If there is any possible to open a center. And on his way to San Francisco, he stopped in Portland and he met his friend Sam, who became Shyam Sundar. And his wife is Mother Malate. They gave their life. Shyam Sundar is the one who brought George Harrison to the movement. So, as long as we have enthusiasm, confidence, and patience, eventually we'll become successful. One thing we can learn from Prabhupada, we should never give up. How many of you agree? How many of you want to follow? Never give up. One CEO told me, I told him, Prabhupada became very successful at the age of 70. Really? Means I still have a hope, he said. Prabhupada life is a hope-giving example to many. Anyway, then Mother Malati, Shyam Sundar, Gurudas Prabhu, and Yamuna Mataji, and Mukunda Maharaj and Janaki, 3 families. They went to Montreal. From Montreal, they flew to London. Those days, Americans had to show $500 at the port of entry. Then only they would be allowed. These people, they were so poor. Hare Krishnas were so poor. They had no money. Prabhupada borrowed $500 and gave it to Shyam Sundar and Malati Prabhu. They showed that port of entry $500. They went inside and posted that $500. Prabhupada gave it to the second batch. Yamuna Mataji and Gurudas Prabhu, they showed the $500 and posted back. And Mukunda Maharaj and Janaki Mataji, Prabhupada gave that $500 to them and they showed that $500 at the port of entry. Once they entered the country, they posted back and Prabhupada repaid that loan. And they took the cheapest flight from Montreal to London, $60 flight. But they were on a mission to please their spiritual master. It's a hard struggle. She told me personally, that time when they were set to go to London, she had a hardly months old daughter. Her mother told her, you are going to London. You don't even have a place to stay. Why don't you leave your baby with me? I'll take care of her. Malati Prabhu told her mother, Mom, I really do not know when I'll come back. So it's better I take my daughter with me. She said that became true. My mother saw my daughter only after 11 years. 11 years she stayed in India and other places. First in London, then India. With a singular objective to spread Krishna consciousness. You are very educated and you have less than 1 year old baby. but you don't have a place to stay. How many of us Indians do that for a spiritual master? None. She's very dedicated even today. She's 80-year-old actually. Her conviction on Srila Prabhupada is very, very high. Why I'm telling is Guru Kripa. If you have that mercy, Guru's grace, then eventually you'll get Krishna's grace. Then they went to London, and Shamsundar had this drive to establish Krishna consciousness. You need to bring a very famous personality into the movement. Those days, Beatles were very famous. George Harrison, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and Ringo Starr. They had Apple Studios. So he tried to get into Apple Studios. Who would care? The security never allowed him to get inside. And Mother Malati, Yamuna, and Janaki Mataji, they would stay in the ghettos of London. Indians don't know what ghetto is actually. Okay, I'm trying to get the right word. A dirty locality in London. That is, let me put it that way. That's the easiest way. Slum. They were living in slum area of London because they had no money. London is very cold, not like India. So she told me she would put her daughter in a cardboard to protect her from cold. And Shamsundar, he pursued the effort of meeting Beatles. One day, he went to the security to gain entry into Apple Studios. Exactly. See, you have to see Krishna's hand. That's why I'm telling this. When a pure devotee desires, Krishna gives. So Shamsundar went to the security. Exactly same time, one car came and waiting at the security. Shamsundar turned back and he waved his hand. That person was actually Paul McCartney. He also waved his hand. Security thought they knew each other. Without asking, he allowed him inside. So now he entered inside. It is like maybe for Hyderabad, some Ramoji film studio, you gained entrance. But in this film studio, where will you meet George Harrison? Or any of the three. That day, there was actually a press meet. There was a press meet. All the Beatles came, and so many press reporters. Actually, John Lennon said, if Jesus Christ had been alive, he would have been envious of our name and fame. That much famous they were, Beatles. So anyway, so Shamsundar did not know what to do. He went behind and he sat on the last row. Shaven head, married red, white kurta, like you all white dhoti, tilak. And Beatles came and they addressed the press conference. Now Shamsundar wanted to go and tell them, sir, we came from America to London to start a Krishna conscious movement. Can you please help us with money or some resource? How many of you appreciate his guts? You are going to Amitabh Bachchan. Somehow you gained entry and you'll go to Amitabh Bachchan. Sir, give us money so that we'll start a center in Mumbai. Will Amitabh Bachchan will he give? Maybe he will, but this is London. Beatles have no idea. That is the confidence he had. His confidence in Srila Prabhupada. My Guru gave me the instruction. With the instruction comes empowerment. Let me go forward. Press meet was over. He was preparing himself. You are not going to give them money. You are going to solicit some help and resource. See Krishna's hand. Once press meet was over, all the press reporters left. And in that room, Only Shamsundar. And the Beatles were also, they were leaving the room. They left. One person waited, George Harrison. Straight away walked to Shamsundar and went to him and said, "Hey, where are you? I've been searching for you." How many of you see Krishna's hand in that? Okay, you go to some studio, you try to meet, I don't know, the present cinema stars, and you go to ask for donation, that Khan or this Khan, and they'll come and say, "I'm waiting for you." Will they say like that? First, you ask the money. The moment you ask the money, they'll walk out. Yes or no? First, they'll not look at you actually. Shyam Sundar said, "You're looking for me?" Yes. What happened? Many of you might have heard, but I encourage you to hear if you have not heard. Go to internet and give Vandeham prayers by Srila Prabhupada. First time I heard, I felt like a cool breeze in a hot summer. That much sweet that voice was. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam. That's how it goes. George Harrison is one of the top rock stars in the world. One day, by Krishna's arrangement, somebody donated this LP record. This is very good, you listen. Shyam Sundar played it. It touched his heart. Not like CDs. There are no CDs even now. Those days, LP records. Shyam Sundar listened every day. Sorry, George Harrison listened every day. That record became, it was broken into pieces. That record was literally broken into pieces. I mean, many of you do not know. You have to put that pin and it keeps on rotating. That record was broken into pieces. He had only one desire. Where can I get this record? Who is the singer? Nobody knows. But one day one person said, "I don't know where they stay, but these are all Hare Krishnas." He said, "Who is Hare Krishna?" They have a paint on the face, they have a ponytail, and they wear bed sheets. I'm honest, that is the description of Hare Krishnas in the West. One day I was driving, my car broke down. That time I was working still. And I went down nearby police station. And the cop saw me. "Hey, you have paint on the face." I said, "Sir, that's not a paint. Don't worry. That's fine." So Hare Krishnas means these guys, they have a paint on the face, they have a ponytail, and they wear bed sheets. So, and he said, "Hey, where are you?" Shamsundar said, "What do you want?" "Can I get that LP record?" Can you believe these people were living in the slums of London? Krishna's grace, they moved into John Lennon's estate. Haribol. How many of you see Krishna's hand? You go to Mumbai to meet Amitabh Bachchan and Amitabh Bachchan says, "Come and stay in my home." Then one day, Yamuna Mataji there was a harmonium and she was trying to sing and she was singing. And she did not know one person was watching from behind. And who is that? George. He said, "Oh, you're singing so well. You say yes to me. I'll make you the superstar of the world." I have a question for all of you. If Amitabh Bachchan comes and tells you, "I'll make you superstar," what will you say? You'll bring this little bit hair forward? No problem. Will you say that or not? How many of you agree? Let us be honest. She came to Krishna consciousness only 2 years before. I can even tell you how she came to Krishna consciousness. Ladies and gentlemen, that is bhakti. Prabhupada was performing marriage to Mukunda Maharaj, Mukunda and Janaki. Prabhupada told her, "You tomorrow will perform in 5 days will perform your marriage. Invite your family." On the day of marriage, Prabhupada asked. Prabhupada was born 1896, not like the previous century. Prabhupada asked her, "Where is your family?" Mukund Maharaj said, nobody. He asked her, hey, where is your family? My parents didn't come. Prabhupada said, your parents didn't come for your marriage? It was a culture shock for Prabhupada. She said, Swamiji, my sister came. Swamiji, my sister came. Call her. Sister came, zone. She was wearing, I cannot show my legs, a frock, tiny frock. Prabhupada said, your sister's marriage, let us come and cook. 10-course meal. Acharya for International Society for Future Krishna Consciousness for next 10,000 years is cooking a marriage feast for his disciples. Americans were not convinced of Srila Prabhupada, were not convinced by Srila Prabhupada by his lectures. They were convinced by his affection and love. This person has unlimited love. Any Prabhupada disciple would come to Hyderabad. Not that all the Prabhupada disciples came and spoke together and made a resolution. In lectures, we should tell this one line: Prabhupada has unlimited love. Not like that. You meet any Prabhupada disciple, Prabhupada's love for the mankind is unfathomable. Srila Prabhupada had that love. That love melted them. So Prabhupada was cooking. And this is just young American, hardly 21. So Americans write like this. Prabhupada, the moment you do, wash your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands. She becomes so upset. First day she was meeting Swamiji. She said she want to run away. He's a difficult old man, you know. Swamiji, I want to go for a smoke. What she said? Swamiji, I have to go for a smoke. Prabhupada looked at her and said, when we cook for Krishna, we don't smoke. That one line, when we cook for Krishna, we don't smoke. He looked into her eyes and said, when we cook for Krishna, we don't smoke. That one line changed. Eventually, she was initiated. And exactly 2 years later, she was not like a 10-year-old, 10-year senior in Krishna consciousness. George Harrison is telling, I'll make you superstar, star singer of the world. You say yes to me. You know what she said? I'm sorry, I can't sing for anybody other than Krishna. She led her life in poverty, and that's how she left the world 2012, 10 or 12. She's actually in my childhood, I heard Akbar invited Surdas and sing about glorify me. Surdas said, I cannot sing for anybody other than Krishna. But Surdas was a devotee from age 6. But now at the age of 60, Akbar is telling, what did Surdas say? I cannot sing for anybody other than Krishna. But she was an American, young American of 21. Now she is 20. That time she was 21. Now she was 23. And she was telling George Harrison, I cannot sing for anybody other than Krishna. Wow. Amazing, right? Then they said, we came to London with a singular objective. We want to start a temple for my Swamiji. Please help us. See now, George Harrison. If you sing for us, Apple Studios, we will make money. You sing for yourself, we will help you. You make that record, you sell that record, you make money, start your temple. Many times we don't value the positive attitude. George Harrison could have used them and made money. But his good heart said, help them. He did not know what he did. Likewise, many of us, all of us don't know what we are doing. All the thing George Harrison did in his life was 7 days, morning 1 hour, evening 1 hour, sat with these unknown people of this world. He brought Ringo Starr, Paul, John McCartney and John Lennon, and they worked on this record, Govindam Adipurusham, maximum 14 hours, and composed a song. So, if you are fortunate, you will see Krishna's hand behind your life. How many of us here, sitting here, wanted to come to Iskcon temple, chant 16 rounds and go back to Godhead? With that objective, how many of us came to Krishna consciousness? None. When somebody was giving a book, little prasad, inviting you for a bhakti ruksha, do you know you will go there and it will change your life? Of the billions of people, why we are the only few chosen by Krishna to send us back to Godhead? What is our qualification? Broken all the regulative principles? Lot of envy in the heart? Lot of arrogance in the heart? Lot of pride in the heart? Answer is only one. Causeless mercy. Accept it. Lord Chaitanya, Narsingadev came for the one reason, protect Prahlad. Vamandev came for one reason, take everything from Bali Maharaj and give it to Devatas. Lord Chaitanya came for one reason, take everyone back to Godhead. My humble request to you, don't miss the boat. I'm honest. Stay on the boat. Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya said, my commander-in-chief will come and he'll spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. What is Srila Prabhupada's greatness? South Indians love coffee and North Indians love tea. 75 years after independence, you ask any Indian, you South Indian, you want coffee or Krishna? Coffee only. So today, we have reached the type of summit of advancement. We are willing to sacrifice Krishna even for a cup of coffee. North Indians, it is tea. Srila Prabhupada went to America, made them give up. Not just drug addiction and alcoholism. He made them give up even coffee and tea. And he made them pure devotees. He made them devotees in 2 months. And he used them to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. As a businessman, he wrote a letter to Babu Rajendra Prasad, first president of India. Sir, end of my life, I know I'm going back to Godhead. Please don't think I'm crazy by reading this letter. I'm not crazy, I'm a businessman. But I know, end of my life, I'll go back to Godhead. Krishna Loka Vaikuntha. I don't want to go alone. I want to take people with me. Please support my program. I'm sure Baba Rajendra Prasad might have thought, this is a crazy person telling about going back to Godhead. 17 years later, Srila Prabhupada, with that objective to spread Krishna consciousness, went to America. Prabhupada says, what India did not give, America gave me money and manpower. And with that money and manpower, I spread Krishna consciousness. One time I felt, people say America is not doing well. America did one good thing unknowingly or knowingly. Supported a pure devotee Srila Prabhupada. One right thing America did, supported Srila Prabhupada. Definitely it will protect America. So, Yamuna Mataji, 2 years after, 2 years, before she came to Krishna consciousness, she said, no, I cannot sing for anybody other than Krishna. So George Harrison, because he loved that kirtan, he had no idea who Prabhupada was. You all should know. Prabhupada was not that any other Indian gurus were not going. Already Maharshi Maheshwari was famous in America. Chidananda Saraswati was famous. Swami Rama was famous. There are many famous gurus. The only one person who was not famous was Prabhupada. Nobody knew Prabhupada. But George Harrison, with his good heart, 7 days he brought the other Beatles and he composed Govinda Madhapurusham. And Govinda Madhapurusham, this LP record, became a super hit. Overnight, Hare Krishna became a household name in Europe, America, North and South, and Australia and East Asia. Haribo. When Krishna wants to spread, he will do like that. Just by one LP record, overnight, maybe in 1-2 weeks, Hare Krishna became a household. People do not know Swamiji, but everyone knew Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So, if that mercy has flown into your life through a devotee, through a prasad, through a book, don't, my humble request, don't lose the chance. Try your best. George Orson never thought this record would become that much hit for this many number of weeks. And he would be instrumental in spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. So what are we? 10 power minus 40 for the hair. Who is Krishna? Unlimited. You want to know about Krishna? Read 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Vibhuti Yogam. Atava mohinetena kimnyatena tavarjana vistabhyam idam Krishnam ekam sena sthito jagat. That is Krishna. Spirituality is based on only one thing, faith. How much faith do we have? We may give lectures also. Do you have faith? Srila, rather than Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, rather than his internal energy, Lord Chaitanya is that Yugala Rupa of Lord rather than Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. If we have faith, he will take us back to Godhead. These are the 3 points. If we develop faith, our life will become sublime. How long should I go? 5 more minutes? Thank you. So, Srila Hare Krishna become household. Then today I am speaking here. Prabhupada told Shyam Sundar, let us go to Russia. Very interesting story. But they told Prabhupada, it's a communist country. Anybody carries Bible to Russia, they'll be captured, they'll be arrested, and they'll be sent to Siberia. Don't bring any spiritual books. Prabhupada told Shyam Sundar, don't bring any Bhagavad Gita. But we cannot understand the Krishna's inconceivable ways. Shyam Sundar told his wife Mother Malti or GBC, don't put any spiritual books. But out of her enthusiasm, not knowing what's going to happen, she packed his bags and underneath she stuck Bhagavad Gita. I want to tell you something interesting before I continue. So many Hare Krishnas were persecuted, sent to Siberia. Siberia means no land. And you have to be there to die till you die. Because Russia was very against Hare Krishnas. One day, one family, they wanted to preach in Russia. American family. They went through the immigration. They were standing at the immigration. Russians didn't get any doubt on his wife. She went through the immigration. Then came to this Prabhu, husband. What are the 4 regular principles? No meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication. Actually, no gambling means to uphold the truth. Tapasaucham daya satyam. This person didn't take it as gambling. This person took a vow. I'll speak truth for the rest of the life. So when he was standing at the immigration, casually Russian authorities asked him, are you Hare Krishna? His wife already entered Russia. Now he is standing there. If you say yes, he knew what happens. He said yes. That's it. 2 cops came, arrested him, took this side. His wife, I cannot say the word never saw him. Let me put that way, never saw him again for some time. I should not use the word never. 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. She did not know where the husband was. What is the mistake he did? He spoke truth at immigration. Many Hare Krishnas were persecuted like that. 1985, Gorbachev became the president. First time Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev had a summit in Ireland. This lady, American, right? She went to Nancy Reagan, wife of Ronald Reagan, and said, "My husband was arrested in Russia 12, 13 years ago. I don't know whether he's alive or not. I want only one. If he's alive, if he's dead, I want the dead body." Because Christians, they would only bury. If not, a proof that he was cremated. If he's alive, please, if you can bring him back to America, I'll be grateful. Nancy Reagan spoke to Raisa Gorbachev, the wife of Gorbachev, and she said they were establishing friendship. Raisa Gorbachev became compassionate. Is there any person 13 years ago was arrested in Russia, Hare Krishna? They traced, he was still alive in that snow desert of Russia. He was the only one who returned back to America alive. The rest all died. What is the mistake? Trying to spread Krishna consciousness. What is the mistake? Being a Hare Krishna is the mistake. One day, every week I would go to Carnegie Mellon when I was living in New Vrindavan. One person came. I said, "Where are you from?" "Iran." Iran? I asked him, first of all, "Who gave you visa, first of all?" America doesn't have a good relationship with Iran. He said, "My GRE score is very high." "How many rounds you chant?" 16. I asked him, "What if government comes to know you're chanting 16 rounds?" He said like this. If government comes to know, you'll be executed. Recently, the so-called Hindus, 38 were executed. Then why do you still chant? He said, "I cannot imagine my life without chanting my rounds." I told him, "Today you give the class in Carnegie Mellon." Said, "I never gave the class." I told him, "Sir, we Indians, we play very safe. If somebody is going to give me green card, I'll chant 16 rounds. But somebody is going to remove my head, I will never look at Hare Krishna beads. You are a million times better than me. You give the class. What is your name?" Iskcon. Great. You're amazing. He gave the class. 10 years later, I went to Oklahoma and they told me, "You have a guest today, a surprise guest." "Who is that?" "No, you don't know. You have to see him." And I went to him. Iskcon became Asesha Gaura Haridas, waiting for me with the 10 PhD students from Iran to attend my lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, that is preaching. So, knowing very well he would be executed to death, he never gave up 16 rounds. And the moment he finished his master's and got a job, he started preaching to fellow Iranians. Even still is preaching actually. That is doing something for Krishna. I can continue for very long actually. Actually, my faith and Prabhupada grew like anything, the leaps and bounds after I went to America. Wow. How difficult it is to bring one American to Krishna consciousness. Anybody met Srila Prabhupada in 2 months, they gave up their bad habits and they became Krishna conscious. And even after 55 years, they're still chanting 16 rounds and following for regulative principles. And they have immense faith in Srila Prabhupada. He is the one who transformed our lives. We were drug addicts, but gave this highest philosophy of Lord Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta and Lord Chaitanya. And he infused our heart with that Krishna Bhakti. They were and they are so grateful. I'll take 2 more minutes. Prabhupada went to Russia. Anyway, that I told you that immigration. Prabhupada, they opened Prabhupada's bag. Swamiji, you have? Prabhupada's bag doesn't have anything. Then Shyam Sundar came. Shyam Sundar was very confident. There is nothing in this bag. And the immigration officer started taking all the books, sorry, all the clothes. He was taking all the clothes. Underneath he saw Bhagavad Gita as it is English version. Shyam Sundar froze. I will never see my family for the rest of the life. And see, that's how Krishna works. And the Russians don't know English. No, but definitely immigration officer would know English because he is immigration officer. What he did, he took the book out. See, that is how Krishna works. When he took the book out, Mother Malte, she put all the her family pictures. She and her husband, she and her daughter. So she put all these pictures in that book. When he took the book out like this, all the pictures fell on the ground. Probably 20, 30 photos. When when the pictures fell on the ground, the officer became embarrassed, and he picked up all the pictures, and he had a feeling, I displeased this gentleman. He put that, because he embarrassed him, he put all the pictures and put it, and they said, he covered the book and said, take it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how the first Bhagavad Gita was smuggled into Russia. And that book, because devotees had only one Bhagavad Gita as it is. Now I'll tell you this. Wherever Prabhupada went, KG was behind. And everywhere Prabhupada, wherever he went, somebody was monitoring him. Prabhupada said, Shyam Sundar, it doesn't work. Prabhupada had a problem getting a vegetarian diet. So Prabhupada was on fruits only. Shyam Sundar said, not last day, one couple of days before leaving Russia, because wherever he went, somebody was watching. Shyam Sundar went to for a far distant market just to get some vegetables because Prabhupada had to eat. There, he met two boys. Because he is American, hey, you have any rock and roll records? You have any music records? He said, I don't have any records, but I have a guru of George Harrison who made those records. Really? George Harrison guru is here. One is Indian, another is Russian. And Shyam Sundar brought these two boys. Prabhupada preached to them for 3 days, initiated that Russian and gave him the name Ananta Shanti and taught him how to cook, taught him how to preach, all the mantras. And that's when Prabhupada met Katosky. And before Prabhupada left, Prabhupada had only one person initiated. That Indian ambassador's son also took it seriously, but more seriously because Indians are scared. But Ananta Shanti took it. Mother Malte told Mandakini Mataji from France, you are very young. Prabhupada, what should I do? You go to Russia and marry this boy. Which the French woman would do that? She surrendered. Will you marry somebody without even seeing him? She went with a singular purpose of pleasing Srila Prabhupada. She went to Russia and married him. And Ananta Shanti Prabhu. So what they would do? They would write, today nobody reads Srila Prabhupada books. They would handwrite Bhagavad Gita. Eventually they got a cyclostyle machine. There was no Xerox machine, photocopy machine those days. Called cyclostyle. KGB had only one question for all the arrested Hare Krishnas. Where is that cyclostyle machine? Ananta Shanti became crazy because of the injections and brainwash, and he died. Satyasudha Prabhu died. So many were persecuted. They were crushed by KGB. Tell us, where is that cyclostyle machine? We will die, but we will never tell where that cyclostyle machine is. Till this day, nobody knows where that cyclostyle mission is. Today, because of their sacrifice, after India, the next country that has maximum number of Hare Krishna devotees is actually Russia. So, you have first not only you chant, Prahlad Maharaj says this. I appreciate those sadhus sitting in the forests and Himalayas. That's okay. But as long as the people in the material world are there, my Lord, I will not come back to spiritual world. Narasimha Swami says, you come back. I will not come back. What I will do? I will preach. 9th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Rantidev says, he has to give that cup of water. If he doesn't drink, he'll die because he has been fasting for so long. Says, I don't need to go back to Godhead. I don't need to attain the Brahman realization. If I can help the fellow living beings, I consider that as a success of my life. You take this water. I am prepared to die, but you drink the water, my brother. Rantidev gives, he says that and he gives that cup of water. Because whoever will drink will live. Rantidev has been fasting. This is a statement he makes. So you want to go into the front pages of Krishna? Okay, chanting in the Brahmurta is fine. But take risks for Krishna. And try your best. Preach. Stay where you are. Sthana sthita shuddhagata tanuan manober. Ye praya sochita ajita strilokyam. But when you take risks doesn't mean climb on the 16th floor and do the gymnastics. Not like that. Go for book distribution. One person at a time. Go to this neighborhood, that neighborhood. If one person chants Hare Krishna, one day he'll go back to Krishna. You should have that faith. What is that? Go Lokira Premadana, Harinam Sankirtan. Hey, this is not ordinary mantra. Krishna has brought that Premadhan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. He brought that, Lord Chaitanya brought that Premadhan to this world. Anybody chants, he or she would go back to Godhead. Have that faith as much as possible. You preach and spread Krishna consciousness. See how the mercy will unfold on your life and the lives of people whom you are preaching to. If I have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as a humble servant. But very grateful for your patient audience. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any question or comment?
Anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand. Mic will come.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam. Very, very, very nice class, Prabhuji. We thoroughly enjoyed your class. Based on your experience for so many years being in US, of course, I was there for quite little time. I have seen some Matajis, especially in Philadelphia, where one Mataji was there who was totally dedicated to Prabhupada. In the Mangalartis, she is the only person who will be attending other than Pujari. When I spoke with her, she said, I don't have anything other than serving my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. That was the conviction she could express. What is that you could feel in Americans especially? How can they have such a conviction with a very, very small association with Prabhupada? Many times we associate with devotees, but we could not get that imbibing, that service or bowling out to the lotus feet of our spiritual master. Why and how they could make that much of conviction over the Guru?
Prabhuji, you don't need 10 years to get the grace. You can receive the grace in 1 second. Or even after 10 years, you may not receive the grace. Lord Chaitanya infused in his South Indian travels. When you would say Hari Hari, they would say Hari Hari. Lord Chaitanya would give Krishna Prema through that glance. Lord Chaitanya never did 7 sessions of Bhagavad Gita course. So, when the recipient felt that grace, first is when you receive it, receive something we don't deserve, then you become grateful. As well as Radhanath Swami says, gratitude doesn't give rise to bhakti, gratitude is bhakti. So, if you understand, my life is transformed, my life has changed. You know, what I was 10 years ago and what I am now is totally different. You should become grateful. And the gratitude, deepens your faith, deepens your consciousness. That's why, gratitude is very important. Vapu and Vani, those Srila Prabhupada disciples who considered Prabhupada, who correlated Prabhupada with his Vapu, the form, they had problems. But Giriraj Maharaj says, those people who understood Guru Tattva means physical form plus his Vani, they started receiving guidance, Giriraj Maharaj words, from Paramatma, the super soul, and they're still Krishna conscious even after 55 years. 55 years. So, when you understand my life has changed, you become grateful. Gratitude brings conviction. Conviction to pursue against all odds. That thing should happen to every one of us. If that thing doesn't happen, there is one enemy, Maya, trying to capture our bead bag. It can happen even next minute. But if we have that gratitude, then what we'll do is we will treasure what we got in the core of our heart and try to give it. Try to give and share that mercy, what we got with others. That's what I can tell.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the Mataji who refused the offer of George Harrison, the Mataji who refused the offer of George Harrison to become the superstar of the world. If she was to join, was she right in refusing that offer? Because if she was to become the superstar of the world, an idol, an icon, she could have impressed so many people to join Iskcon.
Prabhuji, that is one thought process. That's how Indians think. Definitely, I also thought of this. If only I got that offer. Prabhuji, in that offer, if you accept that, if she accepted that offer, definitely there is a tinge of selfishness. In fact, because she rejected it, probably that's why Krishna used that record. Today, Radha Madan Mohan will not give you darshan without that song. Not in your temple, 39 temples.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
What you said is that one mindset. But there is a higher mindset. That is her mindset. She rejected it. Rejection is higher than accepting it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Prabhuji, just one request I have to you. Taking Prabhupada's mission forward, Prabhuji, to make his purpose and understand easily, I compiled a dictionary, Prabhupada, with the concept that Prabhupada purpose made easy. English to Telugu. Now I'm on the way to compiling Hindi dictionary also, so that many people can understand Prabhupada purpose very easily. Can I forward that to you and would you evaluate it?
No, that's a good point. I never thought of it. I'll definitely present to the GBCs of America. It's a good point because the English is very high standard English.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And I don't know so much about Hindi, but yes, English, yes.
Because
I will definitely make.
Yeah, because somebody reading Prabhupada's hard copies would not. It's very difficult to refer the dictionary every time.
If you really ask me, Prabhuji, ordinary dictionary is enough. You really do not know. I don't know why you are making this. You go to any other dictionary and you will get a good understanding. Prabhupada did not use that type of esoteric words nobody would understand.
That's why, Prabhuji. That's why I compiled the dictionary.
I definitely present, I said, but I want to tell you this. Prabhuji, I also had a problem, but anytime I had a problem, just go to regular dictionary and read it. You don't need any special dictionary, honestly speaking. For that fact, for that matter, you try to read Brahma Samhita by Saraswati Thakur. You cannot read one paragraph without dictionary actually.
Exactly.
Try.
No, it's not
Prabhupada
possible.
Swami is a very intellectual guru in Iskcon. He said, I could not even finish reading one paragraph without referring dictionary. It's very difficult. No, but I can tell you, Prabhupada, most of them language of Srila Prabhupada is simple, but definitely spirituality has tough words. But regular dictionary is enough. We don't need to compose a separate dictionary for Iskcon. If you really ask me. That's what I can do.
As such, Prabhuji, but it's a very just 10-page dictionary. That's why it will be very easy because referring that hard copy of 500, 600 pages will be very difficult. That's why I collected the difficult words of the purports, somewhere close to 500 words. That's why I'm just telling you. Thank you so much. I'll just forward it to you and.
Any other question? Otherwise, we'll end it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Prabhu. Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. Prabhuji, my dear devotees from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, in Bhagavad Gita 9.34 and the last chapter 18.65, the slokas are repeated as same, like man mana bhava mad bhakto madhya jimam namaskaro mam yuvasi satyam de pratijane priyasi. And 9.34 also same, man mana bhava mad bhakto
Atmana
madhya.
Matparayana.
So, what is the Krishna Bhagwan particularly repeated 2 times as well?
Very simple, Prabhu. Krishna is emphasizing the same verse 2 times. And become a devotee. Krishna is telling, become a devotee, sir. Offer your homage unto me, you'll come back to me. Do baar bata raha hai means take it seriously. But different context, but the sense is same. Because you're my friend, I'm telling this. So simple. That is my. If somebody can offer a better thing, but the emphasis on this: become a devotee of Krishna. Offer your homage to Krishna. You'll go back to Krishna. That's what I can tell.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So we'll end it here. I think time is over. And if I have spoken anything wrong, please do excuse me as a humble servant. But very grateful for your patient audience. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Sri Yugala Kishor Prabhu Ji ki jai.